Nora gripped her boarding pass tighter as the final call for Flight 287 to Chicago echoed through the bustling terminal at JFK Airport. She was already running late, her mind racing with the weight of the family reunion she dreaded. Her conservative parents in the Midwest, still oblivious to her secret life as a lesbian woman in New York. But then she saw him, an elderly veteran in a faded army jacket, slumped in his wheelchair near the gate, his trembling hands fumbling with a spilled bag of medications, drawing stares but no help from the indifferent crowd. Without a second thought, Nora dropped her carry-on and knelt beside him. "Sir, let me help you with that," she said, her voice steady despite the knot in her stomach. The man, whose name tag read Sergeant Elias Grant, looked up with watery eyes, murmuring thanks as she gathered the pills and straightened his blanket. By the time she wheeled him to the assistant's desk, her flight had departed, leaving her stranded in the airport for the next 6 hours. Little did she know, this act of kindness would unravel her carefully guarded world. As announcements blared about minor delays due to weather, Nora checked her phone. A text from her mother. "Can't wait to see you, honey. Dad's grilling steaks. Bring that nice boy you mentioned." The lie stung. There was no boy, only Sarah, her girlfriend of 2 years, whom she'd left behind in their Brooklyn apartment with a hurried kiss. Sarah understood the facade Nora maintained for her family, but the strain was showing. "Just get through this weekend," Nora whispered to herself, settling into a coffee shop stool. That's when she noticed her. A woman across the terminal, pacing frantically with a phone pressed to her ear. Tall, with sharp features and dark hair tied in a ponytail, she wore a tailored suit that screamed corporate executive. Her voice carried snippets of argument. "No, I can't reschedule the deposition. This is my career on the line." Nora's gaze lingered longer than it should, a familiar pull she tried to ignore. But when the woman's eyes met hers, there was a spark. Mutual recognition, perhaps, in the subtle way queer women sometimes spotted each other in straight spaces. The woman, introducing herself as Jordan Reyes, approached after hanging up. "You missed your flight too? Saw you helping that vet. Nice move in this zoo." Jordan's smile was disarming, her accent hinting at West Coast roots. They fell into easy conversation, bonding over delayed travels and New York's chaos. Jordan was a lawyer heading to a high-stakes case in D.C., her life a whirlwind of courtrooms and late nights. As they talked, Nora felt the walls she'd built start to crack. Jordan was out and proud, unapologetic about her sexuality in a profession that often demanded conformity. But the airport's atmosphere shifted abruptly. Sirens wailed outside, and security personnel rushed past. An overhead voice crackled. "Attention all passengers. Due to a security threat, JFK is now in lockdown. Remain calm and stay in place." Murmurs turned to panic as gates locked and armed guards appeared. Nora's heart pounded, trapped here, with no escape, and her phone buzzing with worried messages from Sarah. Jordan grabbed her arm. "Hey, stick with me. I've got a lounge pass. We can wait this out together." In the executive lounge away from the growing frenzy, the two women shared stories. Nora confessed her double life. The successful graphic designer by day, the hidden lesbian by necessity, fearing her family's rejection. Jordan listened intently, her own tale one of triumph over adversity. Coming out in college, losing friends but gaining authenticity. "It's worth the fight," Jordan said, her hand brushing Nora's accidentally, sending a jolt through her. But Nora pulled back, guilt flooding in. Sarah was waiting at home, trusting her. As hours ticked by, the lockdown dragged on. Reports trickled in via airport TVs. A suspicious package, possible bomb threat. Passengers grew restless, arguments erupting. Nora's phone died, cutting her off from the outside. Jordan offered her charger, and in that quiet moment, their conversation deepened. Jordan spoke of her ex, a woman who'd chosen career over love, leaving her wary of commitments. Nora nodded, thinking of her own compromises, how she'd postponed telling her parents year after year to avoid the fallout. Tension built when a fellow passenger, an older man, overheard their talk and sneered. "Figures, two of you types causing drama in here." Jordan fired back, defending their right to exist, but Nora shrank, the words echoing her father's potential reaction. The confrontation escalated until security intervened, but the damage was done. Nora's anxiety spiked, questioning if visibility was worth the pain. By the end of the first few hours, Nora realized this lockdown wasn't just physical. It was forcing her to confront the emotional prison she'd built. Jordan's presence was a temptation, a mirror to what she could be. But loyalty to Sarah held her back, or did it? As the night loomed, Nora made her first risky decision. She texted Sarah from Jordan's phone, lying about the delay without mentioning her new companion. The guilt gnawed, but so did the thrill of connection. The lounge lights dimmed slightly as evening set in, but the tension in the air only thickened. Airport staff distributed water and snacks, assuring everyone the threat was under control. Yet no one believed it. Nora paced near the window, watching police vehicles flash outside. Jordan sat composed, scrolling through news on her laptop. "Looks like it's a hoax bomb scare, but they're not taking chances," she said, offering Nora a seat beside her. Their knees touched under the table, and Nora didn't move away immediately. The conversation veered into personal territory. Jordan's family, immigrants from Mexico, had disowned her after she came out, but she'd rebuilt in San Francisco, thriving as a civil rights attorney. "I fight for people like us every day," Jordan said, her eyes intense. "What about you? Why hide?" Nora hesitated, then poured out her fears. Her parents' religious upbringing in rural Illinois, their expectations of marriage and grandkids. "If I tell them, it'll break them. Or me." Jordan challenged her gently. "Hiding breaks you slowly. Trust me, I've been there." The words hit hard, stirring a conflict Nora had buried deep. Was her silence a betrayal of herself, or a mercy to her family? A sudden commotion interrupted. A young couple nearby argued loudly, the woman accusing her partner of flirting with someone else during the wait. It mirrored Nora's inner turmoil. Fidelity versus forbidden attraction. Jordan noticed Nora's distraction. "Penny for your thoughts?" Nora shook her head, but inside, she wrestled with the spark between them. Sarah was safe, familiar. Jordan was exciting, a catalyst for change. As the lockdown stretched into the night, isolation amplified emotions. Nora borrowed Jordan's phone again, this time calling Sarah. "Babe, I'm stuck here. Miss you." Sarah's voice was warm but worried. "Just come home safe. Love you." Hanging up, Nora felt a pang. How could she entertain thoughts of Jordan? But when Jordan shared a blanket during a chilly air conditioning blast, their hands intertwined briefly, and Nora didn't pull away. The moral quandary deepened when news broke. The threat was linked to a protest group advocating for LGBTQ rights. Ironically, some passengers blamed those activists for the chaos, igniting debates. Jordan jumped in, defending the cause. Change doesn't come without disruption. Nora stayed silent, torn between agreement and fear of association. Her inaction felt like cowardice, a choice that cost her self-respect. Later, alone in the restroom, Nora stared at her reflection. "Who are you?" she whispered. Returning, she found Jordan talking to the veteran she'd helped earlier. Elias had been wheeled into the lounge for comfort. He shared war stories, gratitude shining in his eyes. "You remind me of my daughter," he told Nora. "She was brave like you." But his daughter had died young, estranged from him over her own secrets. The parallel shook Nora. Would she end up regretting her silences? Jordan pulled her aside. "See? Lives wasted on hiding. Don't let that be you." Their proximity was electric, but Nora stepped back. "I have someone." Jordan nodded, respect in her eyes, yet disappointment flickered. The decision to maintain distance was Nora's first real sacrifice that night, preserving her relationship at the cost of potential growth. As midnight approached, exhaustion set in. Passengers dozed in chairs, but Nora couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed family dinners, where she dodged questions about dating. The pressure mounted. Tomorrow's reunion loomed, now impossible with the lockdown. She texted her parents from Jordan's phone. "Flight delayed indefinitely. Sorry." Their reply. "Praying for you. Stay safe." The irony burned. Prayers for safety, but not for her truth. A heated exchange erupted between two men over politics, fists nearly flying. Jordan de-escalated, her lawyer skills shining. Nora admired her poise, envying the freedom. But envy turned to conflict when Jordan confessed, "I'm drawn to you, Nora. But I won't push." The admission hung heavy, forcing Nora to confront her own feelings. Denying them meant loyalty. Acknowledging them meant betrayal. By dawn's early light filtering through windows, the lockdown showed no signs of lifting. Nora realized this ordeal was a metaphor for her life. Trapped by circumstances, decisions defining her path. Helping the veteran had been instinctive kindness. Now every choice carried weight, the price of authenticity versus security. Morning brought stale coffee and renewed announcements. Investigations ongoing, no end in sight. Nora's body ached from the uncomfortable chair, but her mind was a storm. Jordan had dozed off nearby, her head on Nora's shoulder, an innocent gesture that felt anything but. Gently extricating herself, Nora wandered the lounge, seeking solitude amid the crowd. She overheard a mother consoling her child. "Sometimes we have to wait for what's right." The words resonated, echoing her internal debate. Back home, Sarah represented stability, but Jordan embodied the life Nora craved, open, unafraid. The moral dilemma sharpened. Was pursuing personal truth selfish if it hurt others? Elias, the veteran, wheeled over. Couldn't sleep either? They talked. He revealed his regrets over pushing his daughter away. "She loved a woman. I couldn't accept it back then. Lost her forever." Tears welled in his eyes. Nora's heart broke. Here was the future she feared with her parents. "Don't make my mistakes," Elias urged. His words were a wake-up call, but awakening meant pain. Jordan awoke, sensing Nora's turmoil. "Talk to me." Nora confessed her growing confusion. "I love Sarah, but being here with you, it makes me question everything." Jordan listened without judgment, sharing her own story of leaving a long-term partner for authenticity. "It hurt, but I couldn't live a lie." The conversation was a turning point, pushing Nora toward a precipice. Social pressures amplified when a group of passengers formed cliques, gossip spreading. Whispers about "those two women" reached Nora's ears, judgmental stares following. It mirrored societal biases she'd faced subtly in New York, coworkers' side eyes, families' oblivious comments. Jordan confronted one gossiper. "Mind your business." Her boldness inspired Nora, but also terrified her. Standing up meant exposure, the cost potentially her family's love. A breakthrough came when Nora called her sister from a payphone. Her phone still dead. "What's really going on, Nora?" "Mom's worried sick." The sister knew Nora's secret, having caught her with Sarah once. "Tell them. I'll support you." But Nora wavered, the lockdown forcing introspection. Hanging up, she realized hiding was a betrayal not just to herself, but to those who loved her truly. Jordan proposed a game. Truth or Dare Airport Edition. Dares were light, impersonating announcements, but truths cut deep. Jordan asked, "What's your biggest fear?" Nora. "Losing my family." Her turn. "Have you ever regretted coming out?" Jordan. "Never. The freedom outweighs the loss." The exchange bonded them, but Nora's loyalty to Sarah tugged insistently. Betrayal loomed when Jordan leaned in, their lips nearly brushing. Nora pulled away at the last second. "I can't." The rejection stung both, Jordan masking hurt with a nod. "I get it." But the near miss was a damage done. Guilt flooded Nora, the price of temptation paid in emotional turmoil. As afternoon wore on, news updated. The threat was cleared, but procedural delays extended the lockdown. Frustration boiled over. A passenger shoved another, chaos ensuing. In the melee, Nora protected Elias, wheeling him to safety. Jordan helped, their teamwork seamless. Gratitude from Elias. "You two make a good pair." The comment twisted the knife. Could she have both worlds? Inner conflict peaked when Nora journaled on a napkin. Pros and cons of coming out. Pros: freedom, authenticity. Cons: family rift, societal backlash. The list tilted toward change, but fear held sway. Jordan read it over her shoulder. "You're stronger than you think." Encouragement was a double-edged sword, pushing Nora toward decisions she'd regret or celebrate. By evening, exhaustion mixed with resolve. Nora decided. Once free, she'd tell her parents. But doubt crept in. What if the cost was too high? The lockdown had become a crucible, forging her through fire, each choice a step toward awakening or deeper wounds. Night fell again, the lounge a pressure cooker of frayed nerves. Nora and Jordan sat apart now, the earlier tension creating distance. Elias dozed nearby, a reminder of generational regrets. Nora's mind replayed the near kiss, shame mingling with desire. Was this attraction a sign to end things with Sarah, or a test of commitment? A family video call on Jordan's laptop, borrowed for emergencies, connected Nora to her parents. Their faces filled the screen, concern etched. "Are you okay, sweetie?" Nora nodded, throat tight. "I'm fine. Just thinking a lot." She almost confessed then but chickened out. "Love you." Ending the call, tears came. Jordan comforted her. A hug that lingered too long. "You can do this." The embrace was a betrayal in spirit, even if not in action. Guilt gnawed. Sarah deserved better. But societal mirrors reflected back. A lesbian couple nearby held hands openly, drawing admiring glances from some, disdain from others. Nora envied their courage, questioning her own cowardice. The moral quandary. Was staying closeted ethical if it preserved family harmony? Confrontation erupted when a conservative passenger preached about traditional values, targeting the visible queer folks. Jordan debated fiercely, citing laws and rights. Nora joined in tentatively, her voice shaking. People deserve to love who they love. It was her first public stand, exhilarating yet terrifying. The man backed down, but Nora paid the price. Adrenaline crash, panic attack in the corner. Jordan soothed her. That was brave. But bravery came with fallout. Whispers intensified. Nora imagined her parents hearing similar rants, rejecting her. The thought was a gut punch, the cost of visibility laid bare. Elias awoke, sharing more. His reconciliation attempts with his daughter came too late. "Don't wait." His story was a catalyst. Nora texted Sarah honestly. "Stuck in lockdown. Met someone who's making me think about us." Sarah's reply. "What does that mean?" Nora. "I need to be honest with everyone, including myself." The message sent shockwaves. Potential end to their relationship, the price of truth. Jordan overheard. "Did you just?" Nora nodded. "It's time." But doubt assailed. Was this impulse or insight? The lockdown amplified every emotion, decisions feeling irrevocable. As hours blurred, a rumor spread. Lockdown lifting soon. Hope surged, but so did anxiety. Nora confronted Jordan. "You pushed me toward this." Jordan. "No, you were ready. I just showed the door." The exchange was raw, exposing mutual vulnerabilities. Jordan admitted her own fears of loneliness post-breakups. A group therapy-like circle formed among stranded passengers, sharing stories. Nora listened to tales of loss and redemption, her own brewing. When her turn came, she said, "I'm tired of hiding who I am." Admitting it aloud was liberating, but the cost loomed: family, friends, career perceptions. Betrayal deepened when Sarah called back, voice breaking. "Are you leaving me?" Nora. "No, but things have to change." The conversation ended in tears, relationship strained. The decision to prioritize self over stability was a heavy toll. By morning light, announcements confirmed. Lockdown ending in hours. Nora reflected on the ordeal. Kindness to a stranger had led to self-confrontation. Each choice, from helping Elias to confiding in Jordan, carried weight, reshaping her. With freedom imminent, tension peaked. Nora packed her things, mind whirling. Jordan approached. "What now?" Nora. "I go home, tell the truth." Jordan smiled sadly. "Proud of you. Here's my number. If you need a friend." The exchange was bittersweet, potential romance sacrifice for integrity. Elias bid farewell. "You've got heart, kid. Use it." His blessing was a balm, but the path ahead daunted. Calling her parents again. "I'll reschedule the flight. We need to talk when I get there." Their confusion. "About what?" Nora. "Me." Hanging up, resolve hardened but fear persisted. Societal echoes resounded as passengers discussed the incident. Media blamed activists, fueling debates. Jordan argued for nuance. Protests push progress. Nora agreed openly now, her voice stronger. The shift was a personal victory, but at what cost? Friends might drift, family fracture. Sarah texted. We need space. The word stung, relationship on brink. Nora's choice to awaken had damaged trust, a painful trade-off. Moral ambiguity swirled. Was self-discovery worth relational ruin? In final hours, Nora journaled extensively, processing conflicts. Inner monologue raged. Apologize to Sarah or forge ahead. Jordan's influence lingered, a what-if scenario. But loyalty won temporarily. Nora messaged Sarah. I love you. Let's talk when I'm back. Confrontation with self culminated in a quiet moment. Nora admitted her flaws, cowardice, temptation. Awakening meant accountability, the price ongoing. As gates unlocked, chaos of departure ensued. Nora helped Elias to his gate first, a full-circle act. Thank you, he said. You saved more than my pills. Parting from Jordan was harder. A hug, unspoken regrets. Stay true, Jordan whispered. Boarding her rescheduled flight, Nora felt transformed yet burdened. The lockdown had exposed fractures, forcing choices with steep costs. The plane taxied down the runway, New York shrinking below. Nora stared out the window, replaying the whirlwind. Home awaited, confrontations looming. Landing in Chicago, her parents greeted her warmly, oblivious. Dinner that night, steaks, small talk. But Nora couldn't delay. I need to tell you something, she said, heart pounding. I'm gay. I have a girlfriend, Sarah. Silence fell, then eruption. Father's disbelief, mother's tears. How could you? Dad thundered. This isn't you. Arguments flew, religion, tradition versus love, acceptance. Nora stood firm, citing her journey. Hiding hurt me more. The fallout was swift. Dad stormed out, Mom pleaded for time. Nora left for a hotel, shattered but unbowed. Calling Sarah. Told them. It's bad. Sarah. I'm here, but we need to rebuild. The relationship teetered. Trust eroded by Nora's emotional wanderings. Days blurred into therapy sessions, family mediations. Sister supported, but parents struggled. Dad's eventual olive branch. I don't understand, but you're my daughter. Progress, but scars remained. Jordan texted encouragement, a platonic lifeline. Months later, Nora reflected on costs. Strained family ties, near loss of Sarah, but gained authenticity. Society's judgments persisted, subtle discriminations at work, but she fought back, inspired by Jordan. The awakening was complete, yet questions lingered. Choices debated. Was helping the veteran worth the chain reaction? Temptation resisted, but at what emotional expense? In the end, Nora wondered. When the price of truth is pain for those you love, is silence ever the kinder betrayal?